Hey guys, I had a thought, and I don't know if it's going to come back to me, but it wasn't a story that I know that I've memorized all the parts and I can read off the cue card now and tell you, but it was an interesting one. And see if I can put it back together. So the point that occurred to me is that most of the people around me, and I'm sure around you guys, because I'm looking for the answers to this, or well, depends on, well, anyway, we won't go into that. So most of the people around me do not agree with my basic premise that if you leave everyone else alone and leave all the things that you label as problems around you, if you leave them alone, both actually and mentally, and instead focus on the 95% of everything else that's really going so beautifully, and just focus on all the things that are going well, you'd get happier inside your head, and then you'd speak more lovingly to yourself, and you would do better to yourself, and consequently you'd be nicer and better to everyone around you, and you would expect a leader to be a person who speaks and feels that same way. But I know that I speak and feel the way of not pushing, but inviting others around me to that concept that everything's okay, everything's working out just the way it's supposed to be, and you're not a victim of anything. No one's taking advantage of you. There's no bad thing that can come. Anything that comes our way is because we were looking for it and we needed it for part of our experience to further say to ourselves with a little more commitment, everything is perfect, it's just as I wanted it. The only job we have here to do is to love ourselves more and more every day. Speak kinder to ourselves, be kinder to ourselves, figure out how to make things gentler on ourselves. It doesn't mean you don't go for that doesn't mean you don't go for a run on a sunny, warm day, or you don't work too many hours one day and fall asleep and can't wake up the next morning on time to go to work, or push yourself too much. But it's with what energy are you doing it? Are you doing it because you feel like you owe it to somebody? And that's, I guess, where it gets tricky. The doing part is never going to get you the right answers. It's the mental state. When you're in the right mental state where you see everything around you as working out exactly the way it's supposed to be. In my mind, I call everything perfect, but for some people that might be too much. Maybe just everything around you is going just as it's supposed to be. You just have to figure out why it's supposed to be that way. But really, skip that step and just leave it all alone. Stop watching the news, stop watching other people, stop trying to tell everybody what to do, stop telling yourself what to do. Stop being disappointed in everything around you. And then you can start to not feel so disappointed in yourself. They're both intertwined. They're the same thing. And if you don't know that, then you should talk a lot to someone who does know that. But I put these general topics that I'm speaking of right now out there. For most people, 95%, they'll take some and they'll go a little bit with me, but there's 5 or 7 other rules like that are not really rules like obey me. They're just sort of markers to say, hey, maybe you're holding on a little too tight. Maybe you need to love on yourself a little more. And it shows in the fact that, the traffic around you is irritating you. That's a signal to me. You're not speaking well to the people who drive around you who could be making mistakes, could not be making mistakes, just could be interrupting your process. But even if they're actually making a mistake, you're not talking very nicely to the people in the cars around you. Now, granted, you're not saying any words because you got glass between you, but that's how I know how you talk to yourself. But there's a million other ways. But the only person who's not aware of it is the one who's actually going through the struggle, the one who's blindly cursing everything around them. And maybe they say, I'm not cursing anything around me. I just know how it should be, and I know what needs to be fixed, and I know I should support what's going in the way I think things should go, and I should not support the things that I think should not go the way they're going. That's how we create heaven on earth. I think 95% of the population would agree with that concept. But it's not how it works at all. we love ourselves and we act lovingly to those around us. And that's how you create that synergy. You can never have enough rules of what niceness is. You're either genuinely nice in your heart or you're not. And if you're not, then you're polluting the planet with disappointments, angers, and everything else. And it does have an effect on everyone on the planet. The ripple may be more caustic to the person who lives with you, more caustic to your own concept, your own communication with yourself, your own inner happiness. So, the interesting thing I thought was people bring up Trump to me, and I've often thought to myself, not often, just the last couple of days I've been thinking about him a little bit. It's like he's conceptually just a guy that a lot of people talk to me about, complain about. Really, they don't even talk to me about him, they complain about him to me. Now, if I want to go walk with some other people, I could find people who would say, he's the best. But generally, it's a whole bunch of people who want the world to be different. He's going to fix everything. There's no he's going to fix anything in anywhere in the planet. So if you think that the planet needs some things fixed, not people, starting with myself, and never going anywhere past myself, that's the ironic part. It never gets more important than yourself. You're always just trying to be happy or trying to evolve spiritually, all on your own. The rest of the people are just here to give us something to bounce our energy off of. Indicators in the road. That's all that all these people are about. So bring everybody in. There's plenty of room. Come on in. We'll make do and get on our own personal journey of going within ourselves to find happiness, bliss. And it's got to start with looking outside of your eyeballs and your hearing, and hearing nothing but joyful things and seeing nothing but joyful things, without things in front of you changing, just because you thought it must be joyful. We're here, we're alive on planet Earth. That's what my soul came here for. There's nothing I need to fix. There's nothing I need to do. You never get it done. So just enjoy the journey. It's perfect. And I think it's getting pretty dark out here. But anyway, don't look for a guy like Trump to go fix something for you. That's why we elected the guy. He's got no spiritual intellect. He's got a, God damn it, let's fix some things around here. You guys have created a real mess. That's his energy. If that's the way you resonate in your head, then that's who you want in office. And then I hear people hollering about that same energy, but they're anti-Trump. If we just get him out of the office, God damn it, we'll have something done right around this country. Anyway, if that's where you are, enjoy. I don't know what to say to you, but love the one you're with. I guess that's a good one to end with. Anyway, love you guys. See ya. Out.